Howdy friends, Brian Flechsig of Mad River Outfitters and the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and welcome back to another one of our product reviews. In fact, today we're going to do a little bit of a shootout on high-end nippers. You know, I suppose it was about 10 years ago that the Able company out of California released their original high-end nippers, which at the time I believe sold for about 50 bucks. And of course we jumped on the bandwagon and started promoting it, and we put stuff out there on social media and on our website, and the pushback was absolutely amazing. We actually had people telling us to go to hell, that jump in the lake, no way, nobody's ever going to buy a $50 nipper. And I got to tell you, I think that first year we sold something like 400 of them. It was astronomical. People went nuts for them. It was the best Christmas gift ever at the time. And since then, everybody and their brother has come out with a high-end pair of nippers. And what we're going to do today is take a look at each one of them, at least each one that we carry here in the shop and on our website. And we stock them all. But let me first say that no, you do not need a $50 to $100 pair of nippers. It's a luxury, it's an extravagance. You can certainly get a $4 pair of nippers and cut your tippet and do what you need to do. So I'm not trying to sell you a $100 pair of nippers, but if you are in the market, and plenty of people are, we stock kind of all of the ones out there on the market, and we sell all of them. So people are out there buying these things. So let's take a look. And in fact, today we've got the Able, which is kind of the original. We've got the new Orvis, which are just on the market maybe under a year. I've got the Simms guide nippers. I've got the Hatch nippers. And then I also have the Loon Nip and Sip. And we'll talk about the prices and some of the features here as we go. So what I'm going to do is I've got 30-pound braided Dacron backing. I have 30-pound Spectra fiber, or basically braid Power Pro. I have 30-pound Maxima clear, and then I've got some 6X Rio supple flex that we use for dry flies. And we're gonna take a look at how each one cuts each one of these different materials. So let's start off with the Able here, and we're gonna cut 30-pound backing. Got to get these in there, of course. All right, 30-pound backing, Able, like butter. The Orvis, like butter. Let's do the Hatch. I'm not going to say like butter. It did it. There's a little bit of fray at the end. It did it, but it was not as good as the Able or the Orvis. The Simms guide nipper, mediocre at best. It really frayed the end. Didn't quite make the cut on that one. And the Loon Nip and Sip. Yeah, that's not good. You don't want to be cutting backing with that. I mean, it did it, but it was a struggle. And right there, I really can't even do it. And I had to kind of rip at it, and it frayed the end of the backing. So as far as 30-pound backing, for sure, the Able and the Orvis led the pack. All right, let's take 30-pound Power Pro braided fishing line. Able, like butter. Orvis. It did it, but not as good as the Able. The Hatch. That was a struggle. I had to really push it, work it. The Simms. Not even gonna do it. And the Loon Nip and Sip. I think we know the answer. No, I basically ripped it. Not really happening there. 30-pound Maxima clear. Able, like butter. Orvis, like butter. Hatch, no problem. Simms, no problem. Loon, Nip and Sip, no problem. So, you know, it's kind of funny that sometimes these these blades have a tougher time with like 6X really thin stuff as opposed to the big stuff. No problem with the Able, like butter. The Orvis, no problem. The Hatch, no problem. Sims, no problem. And the Loon Nip and Sip, no problem. As we'd all pretty much expect. So let's talk about each one of these individually. I think if I had to pick one, let's wait, I'll get to that. The Able. I like the design a lot. They're small, they're comfortable to use. On all of these, the jaw or the blades are replaceable. Although I don't know that I've ever seen anybody do that, but if something happens, they do get nicked up or wear out over time, you can replace the blades. They are all also made in the USA, with the exception of the Loon Nip and Sip. Another important feature on a nipper is the little pin that you can use to poke through the eye of a fly if it's glued over. The Able does have the pin, but I will say that it's kind of tough to access sometimes. I've had a little trouble getting my fly in there. You have to actually insert the eye of the fly and get it just right, and then close the nipper to push the pin through. I would say that's the only drawback. The Ables are very comfortable. They are spring-loaded. It's still a great product. And these now come in at 85 bucks for your standard colors. I think if you get one of their colored versions, they bump up to 105. The Orvis come in at $79, made in the USA. They do come with, oh, the Able does not come with a lanyard either. The Orvis does come with a lanyard, but basically it's fly line. I'm not overly thrilled with that. I think they could have done a better job, but it is what it is. You can always put something else on there. The Orvis has a pretty unique design. It's kind of ergonomic, and I like it. And then the pin, you should be able to see here, the pin, you rotate basically the little clip, call it here, you rotate that out and then use it. It's very accessible. And then also a cool thing is you can rotate it back in, and that way it's out of your way and you're not going to be stabbing yourself. So overall, these come in at $79.95. I think they do them in 4 different colors. It's a pretty doggone good option. The Hatch. The Hatch are the most expensive. The Hatch come in at 100 bucks. They are our #1 seller. We sell more of the Hatch these days than we do any of the others. It does have the pin in there, but again, to me, it's a little bit inaccessible, although I guess it's not that hard to get your fly in there and do it. Definitely still not as good as the Orvis, being able to pop that out. And then the Sims guide nipper. Oh, these, yeah, 100 bucks. The Sims guide nipper comes in at $49.95. It does have a pin here on the side. I think they're maybe a little bit small for my taste. I tend to like, you know, the Able is a little bit bigger. But the Sims come in at $49.95. They're not going to break the bank, and they work okay. The Loon Nip and Sip does come with a lanyard. Forgot to mention the Hatch does come with this lanyard, and this is certainly the coolest lanyard out there. It does have a clip here that you can undo. So definitely, as far as the lanyard goes, the Hatch takes the prize there. The Loon Nip and Sip does come with a lanyard. It does have the pin, but the pin is on the inside of the nipper again. It's also big enough that you could kill a hog with, I think. It's like a spear inside there. For little trout flies, it's not going to be really all that applicable. It is called the Nip and Sip because it does also have a little bottle opener here. So not a bad choice if you're not looking to break the bank, but you want a decent nipper for trout fishing and for hog hunting, I guess. So these come in at $34.95. I would say if I had to pick one for myself, I'm kind of old school. I like the Able stuff. This is still, I think, one of the best ones, if not the best one on the market. Although I got to hand it to Orvis, they've done a great job. The ergonomic design, this thing was right up there with the Able on most everything, and having the little pin that pops out is pretty cool and then pops back in. I would replace the lanyard though. So anyways, there you have it. My thoughts on nippers. You can find all of these at madriveroutfitters.com or here in the shop. If you have any questions, give us a call. Thanks for watching as always. Be sure to subscribe and we'll talk to you soon.